Hey there, it's John from Heroes and Legends, and I'm here with this week's comic book haul. So I have my regular haul. I also have a few other kind of odd things to show you guys. So I went to a comic book show this weekend. It was like a real small one at a Holiday Inn. It was like from 10 to 4, real small show. And I was hoping to find some books there to kind of, maybe dig through some back issues and pull some keys. The problem was the vendors there, the prices were like eBay prices, like everywhere I went. Now, granted, I probably could have made some offers, but it was kind of discouraging. Every table I went to was like eBay prices. So there were a lot of like $1.50 bins, and I did look through a lot of them. Didn't really see anything that stood out. There were a couple cheaper bins of things that were $2-3. That was, again, it was just their value, and it wasn't a deal or anything. So I don't know, I didn't really pick much up. They had door prizes, and this is the first thing I have to show you guys. This was one of the door prizes. It was Sovereign 7, and I never heard of this before. It's by DC. I saw Chris Claremont was on it, so I said, I'll check it out. It looks like a 90s book. It's a trade, obviously. So if anyone knows more about it, it looks like Lobo's in it. I don't know. It must have been the 90s, right? If anyone knows more about it, by all means, let me know. But Chris Claremont was the writer. You have Alan Davis doing some of the pencils, too. So a pretty big group of folks actually worked on this. So this may be a number of issues or an entire run of this. I don't know. So, but it was one of the more interesting things they had for a door prize. This is another door prize I picked up, and this was Johnny Hazzard, number 4, and it just looked unique to me. I never saw anything quite like it, and I thought I'd just pick it up because it was different, and it was kind of like I had to pick something, so there it was. It actually looks like Johnny Hazzard comic strips. These almost look like newspaper comic strips. But by Frank Robinson. So that's interesting, though. So again, if someone knows more about this, definitely let me know in the comments below. A couple things I did buy. I ended up buying no comics, but I did buy an old wizard. Actually, a couple old wizards. This one is a Superman tribute edition from the Death of Superman. I don't know. I just always liked that storyline when I was a kid and stuff. So this was $2, so I picked it up. It's still sealed. At one point I'll probably open it up and take a look at it, but I thought the back was kind of cool. They're getting ready for Adventures number 500 with Superman Returns, and you can buy like the autographed versions of the whole like first part of each of the 4 Superman and all that for $160. So this is by Dynamic Forces, which is still around today doing those autographed books and stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. So there it is. Also comes with a trading card. I actually had a lot of these when I was a kid, the trading cards. I might have actually had the whole set from the Death of Superman, so I think this is some sort of promo version, or maybe just a regular card from that set. Also picked up, again, this was $2, and just an old issue of Wizard, and this is, I don't know, the main reason I picked it up is because it was in the time period I used to buy and collect comics, and I didn't have this issue of Wizard. It's already open, as you can see, but I like the little giveaway stuff still here. And another reason I picked it up is there were 2 Magic cards in it from Ice Age that it will be cool to show on my Magic channel as well. Just how they kind of came. This is actually before the Ice Age set came out, so this was kind of their way of previewing a couple of the cards. And again, I'll when I get a chance, kind of open this up, take a look at it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll even videotape that when I open it. Just I think it's kind of cool to look at some old wizards sometimes. So maybe I'll put that up on the channel at some point. So that's what I got at the show. Not a whole lot. Spent $4 plus the admission. The admission, I got the door prizes, but only spent $4 when I was actually in there. I didn't actually get any real comic books. So a little disappointing, but I'm gonna keep watching for shows. They're gonna have another bigger one in the spring, so hopefully there won't be just all eBay prices everywhere. But anyway, let's get into the regular haul for the week, and we'll start off with a couple Valiant books. We got Raya number 11, and yeah, Valiant just knocking out of the park. Matt Kent doing a great job on Raya. Continue to pick this up every month. And second Valiant book, we got Ivar the Time Walker, number 10. And again, this one's Fred Van Lent. It's interesting. Fred Van Lent, he did a lot of stuff for Marvel, and I was always kind of like, he's pretty good. But I feel like he's really come on his own working on Valiant. Also, some of the stuff he did with the Gold Key characters And IDW was really good too. He wrote Magnus Robot Fighter. It was really strong. It was 12 issues. You can probably find it. I don't know if they made a trade. I assume they made a trade, but it was very good. But Friend of Adelant, awesome. All right, next we have Star Wars, and this is Shattered Empire. This kind of takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. And Greg Rucka is writing this. Greg Rucka, phenomenal writer. He's actually got a new independent book that comes out. I think it came out this week. I think I should have it probably my next haul. And it's a cop story. I think a detective story. So should be cool. And one of the best writers out there. So I do like him a lot. All right. What else from Marvel? We got Amazing Spider-Man #2. And yeah, you know, this one is not too different from the pre-Secret Wars. I mean, it's a little different. I mean, the status quo has changed a little bit in the universe, so you kind of have to get used to that, I guess. But still Dan Slott, still kind of doing the same stuff. You know, a little bit out there, a little bit different, but I like it. I like Dan Slott. So, all right, DC. What's DC got for us this week? Batman and Robin. So this is Batman and Robin Eternal #3. This is shaping up a little better than I thought it was. I mean, there's a lot of writers on it. I've said in the past weeks, I'm not a huge fan of Tynion, but Scott Snyder's on here, although I don't think his name's on the credits very long. I want to say maybe the next issue he's probably going to disappear if I read that correctly. But you got Tim Seeley too, so you know, it's interesting stuff. The hardest part with these is it is a weekly serial. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with those, but so far, so good with that. Next, we got Star Wars Darth Vader. This is #11, and this has been great. All the Star Wars books, they put really strong writers on them and really strong artists as well, and this is another great creative team. Maybe this is my favorite of the Star Wars books Marvel's putting out right now. It's pretty close, if not. So, strong writers on all these books. And I think I said last week, I don't really picture myself buying Star Wars comics, quite honestly. I mean, the movies are just fine. I never really got into the comic books, but they are putting great creative teams on these. All right, so next thing I got is actually something a little special. And this, I talked about this book last week. I actually picked up the regular version last week, but this is Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan, and this is an autographed version of it. And I kind of got lucky. I just happened to see my email when it was coming in from Midtown Comics, and they had a deal. You could get this for cover price with the 4 creators' signatures. I was like, that's pretty awesome. It was a limit one per customer. On the back here, you can see we have a certificate of authenticity, and it has Brian K. Vaughan, Cliff Chang, Matt Wilson, and Jared Fletcher as the creative team that signed it. So that's pretty awesome. So there you have it. Now, Brian K. Vaughan, of course, he's currently writing Saga, and so We Stand on Guard. Great titles. I think he's going to be writing something for Marvel soon. I can't remember. It's escaping me. But definitely whatever he's writing, I always pick up. He's awesome. I mean, he's wrote great stories in the past. He's done a lot of work on television and stuff. But now he's actually, this is his 3rd book that's out right now, with possibly a 4th coming out. So that's crazy. He's doing a lot of work, more work than he's done in many years in comics. So I'm very excited about that. He's one of the best writers in the industry, and this has been great. So not to give away too much, but basically the story takes place in the 80s. It's 1988, so it has kind of that 88 timepiece feel to it. And there is an element, less sci-fi elements, like perhaps like time travel is going on. Somebody from the future is in 88. So I really like this story. So this was only the first issue. Pick it up. I mean, you should be able to find it on the shelves at your comic book stores. But it's a super thick issue. I don't even know how many pages it is, but it took me a little while to read. It was pretty lengthy, but really good. So also, if you're a fan of his work on Saga, some of it felt a little bit like Saga, especially the beginning. There's a dream sequence with the main character that was a very 80s dream sequence, not to give away anything, but it really felt like Saga. I felt like I was reading Saga those first couple pages, so which is not a bad thing by any means. All right, so now that we've talked about that, let's look at our 3 top picks for this week. Number 3, I picked Fade Out, and this Fade Out number 10, and I think this is coming to an end pretty soon. I don't know if it's 12 issues or probably it's a 12 issue. But you never know, though, with Brubaker and Phillips. I mean, they did extend kind of at the last minute. They extended Fatale, which was their last series they put out, and it ended up going longer than the 12 issues they planned. But I love this series. I've talked about it before, I know, but Brubaker and Phillips just can do no wrong when it comes to noir. And it's just a great Hollywood noir story, you know, just really awesome stuff. And I can't get enough of it. Sad that it's coming to an end, but I have a feeling these two will be doing something else. They always do. So, and it never disappoints. Number 2, Brian Michael Bendis. You knew he'd probably be here, and here he is with Invincible Iron Man number 2. Hey, Bendis is just a fantastic writer, and I'm just excited. This is whole take on Iron Man I'm looking forward to, just because he has written Iron Man in the past as part of Avengers, but he has never just been on the Iron Man book, and I'm excited about it. So this one I'm excited about. I'm excited about the Avengers by Mark Waid too, which is coming out soon. So it's kind of cool to mix up these creators a little bit. It's very exciting. You know, Bendis was on Avengers for a really long time, and it was super awesome when he went out and did X-Men for the last few years, and X-Men was incredible with his run. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to see kind of how this develops. All right, time for our pick of the week. And those of you who know me, probably not a surprise, I picked Justice League number 45 by Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns just, I don't know, I feel like he's the best writer in the industry. Has been for quite some time, and he always knocks it out of the park. It's kind of funny because DC, I don't know, sometimes I feel like, especially recently, they're promoting a lot of their kind of post-convergence books and stuff. But meanwhile, Justice League's been chugging along, not getting a whole lot of attention, but Jeff Johns is just telling epic stories every week. Now, I did notice there's going to be some spin-off books. I think the first one came out this past week, which was a Darkseid War Batman solo story, and I think there's going to be like 3 others. Now, they're not by Jeff Johns, they're by other writers, but it looks like they're putting some pretty good writers on them. So I'm going to check those out too, but you know, obviously it feels like, I don't know, it feels like people forgot about Justice League. It flies a little bit under the radar, and I think it's the best book being published right now, quite honestly. And yeah, it's fantastic. Now, you do have to appreciate probably a little bit of the DC history to get super into the story, but at the same time, Jeff Johns makes it all new and exciting. And if you don't know all the history behind like Darkseid and the New Gods and all that stuff, you don't need to, because it's really kind of represented in a very manageable way. So yeah, there it is. That's the haul for the week. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Let me know in the comments below. First off, what books you've been picking up is always interesting, and also if you have any more information about those other 2 books I shared from the beginning, that would be cool too. So hey, as always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a good day.